Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Let's Play for Dark Souls, the greatest RPG ever made on the PlayStation 3
Indeed.
in 2011. I'm trying to qualify it as much as I can so I don't get called out on it. So we just finished the Undead Asylum, and now we're going to do the Moonlight Garden. It might be the Darkroot Garden.
It's the Darkroot Garden, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do Darkroot Garden / Basin / all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's just easier to do that than have to leave the depths and the under Blight Town stuff later.
Right.
So we're going to head back. The way you get there is
One
you
sec.
don't go all the way back.
No, first we need to go talk to Lautrec just to look at him.
Did we let him live?
Yeah, remember last time we let him... He's not here.
Oh no, it's because we had the that ghost dude, so we didn't talk to him at all. So maybe that just screws up that whole side
Wow,
quest.
is he not going to appear for this entire playthrough? That's interesting. Or no,
well,
I think
that's disheartening.
I think he does. I don't remember. Honestly, I've never ended up in that situation where I killed the gargoyles before freeing him. So I
Yeah,
have
so apparently
no
if you
idea.
kill the gargoyles before freeing him, Lautrec may not ever show up. So that's a shame because that's a really interesting side quest.
And it
but
gives
we're
a really
not.
good ring.
Do you want to just
gonna
go
go
check
check.
if he's there?
Yeah,
We
I'll-
can edit that out anyway, but just check if he's there real
I will
quick.
go check.
And if he's not, you can use your editing magic to make it seem as if we didn't.
Or I'll just leave it in.
Well, that's boring to the viewer.
Okay. Ah, it'd be so great if those guys dropped their swords.
I think they have to have the big shields.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And that sword takes about 3.5 hours of steady farming to actually get.
That's on the short side.
It took me about 3. But
think,
we know with my raffle luck, I'm a lucky man.
yeah, I think the couple of times I've got it, it took like maybe 5 or so. They gave that thing a small, low drop rate.
For those who don't know, the Baldur side sword is one of the, like the meta accepts it as the best PvP weapon, or one of the best PvP weapons, because it's got really good speed and good combos and all that. Although it
I'm
doesn't
gonna
cost
die
me.
here. Nope, no, I'm not.
Look at you, be bad.
I know. It's pretty amazing, I must say. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff, isn't it? Oh, whoa, where did you come from?
I'm on a delay, but I saw that dude.
Welcome back to Dark Souls, where I don't know how to play Dark Souls. Alright, so, yeah, this is where Lautrec hides. And he's not there. Huh.
Yep. So I guess if you just keep a note, people, if you defeat the gargoyles before talking to him, that whole chain is just gone, I suppose.
I thought he freed himself.
Well, we can just keep checking back and
I
see if
don't
he's
know.
at the fire.
We'll see. I mean, he does his thing after you ring the second bell, so maybe we'll see him before then.
It's a shame because it's a really cool side plot.
Yep.
But we can just amble on over to the
Yep.
Darkroot Garden. Now, the Darkroot Garden is accessed by, you have to go back to where the blacksmith was, and where there's that stone demon that throws lightning at you. I think we already defeated him, but it's past that is the Darkroot Garden. And we learn in the DLC that it was once known as the Royal Wood, though it's unclear whether it was the Royal Wood of the Anorlondo nobility or the Ulasil nobility, or both, I suppose.
I think it's Ulasil. I mean, it's right outside the Ulasil township, and um, that's really all I got. Because we're not in Orlando. Like,
Yeah, but they've got to hunt somewhere too, right?
I mean, I don't know. They're gods.
I don't know what gods do.
Well, I'm Andre of a store rat. If it requires anything.
Oh, an interesting side note. Did you know that originally in development they were planning for Andre to be the lost son of Gwyn?
Yes, I did.
But then they let that little thing drop. But apparently if you talk to him, one of his stock lines is sort of revealing that he may be the ex-god of war. So we didn't defeat this Titanite demon, but
we didn't come down here.
And these are sort of not so tricky to defeat. You just got to stay in close and dodge roll. Like, that's all there is to it. And they move really slow, so it's easy to get the pattern. And you want to kind of try to get behind them, like sort of to the back side of them, and you can get in a few hits between. And keep rolling. If you try to block it with your shield, it takes away a bunch of your stamina, and it's not a good idea.
I think the old school technique was to just be right on these stairs so that his moves whiffed over you.
But I mean, it's not so difficult to just do it.
Yeah, I know. And it's
Okay,
a little
yeah,
unreliable. Yeah, and these wandering demons, I think that's what they're called, are the only sources of demon titanite in the game, which is the upgrade material you need to upgrade the boss weapons and
Any sort of like rarely magical item.
I think
like
it's just boss weapons. Yeah.
No, don't you need it for the Black Knight stuff, or is that no? Maybe
No,
that's just
twinkling.
Twinkling. So here we are, Darkroot Garden. These little plant things, you want to be careful because if you get in close and they can grab you and like it basically insta-gibbs you.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing about them to be afraid of. Other than that, it's not too bad. And here to the right is the Darkroot Basin, but we'll do that a little bit later. But there's some cool stuff down there, which we'll see. Now this area, as you'll see, is quite a bit different from the sort of destroyed battlements and decaying castle-like structures we've been doing up until now. So it's a neat break from that. It's also really dark, and which is interesting because all we've seen is all the sunlight and the fading sunset or whatever it is, which is thematically important. But it's neat to see a kind of twilight area.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this area. I think it's a little too dark and a little too the textures just sort of all blend together. But I do admit that it's a nice change up of the sort of environment that you
Through
get.
that door is the blacksmith sells a key that can get you through that door. There's also a way around through the Darkroot Basin, but this is the way to the grave of Sir Artorias.
Yeah, or you can actually kill Andre and get the key that way.
And I had no idea there was a bonfire there.
Really?
In my 18 billion playthroughs. I never do.
It's actually part of the there's a it's a pattern that you can notice where in a lot of the areas there tends to be a hidden bonfire about halfway through the area or in a very central location that you have to sort of suss out, that they don't just give to you.
Except for New Londo.
Yeah, except for New Londo.
But we'll get to that whole thing later, but boy, does that need a bonfire somewhere in there.
You really didn't know about that bonfire.
I did not.
Huh. Interesting. Do you know about the hidden one in Izalith?
Which one?
The one hidden behind the wall? In the lava area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you're in the kind of like Angkor Wat looking part of it, and you can, like before you climb the tree.
Yeah.
Ranch up into I knew about that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that one. If you don't know about that one, Izalith running back after you die is like the biggest pain on the earth.
But I did know about it.
Really?
But Darkroot Garden isn't so huge, so I mean, it saves you what, 5 minutes? Not even.
I don't know. It's not that bad. Yeah.
And here is a white mist. These But this time, sometimes they lead to bosses, sometimes they don't. It's sort of a weirdly arbitrary thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a holdover. It's another thing from Demon Souls, where I think in Demon Souls it's used as sort of a gate to allow the levels time to load. So maybe it's being used for the same purpose here.
Yeah, and there, if you'll see, when you go to the right, those kind of thickly moving trees are actually living things you can defeat, and they usually always reveal secret paths.
And there's only just 2 of them.
Well, right, but
Yeah.
they are there. And there's little creepy lizard-looking things.
Yeah, weird little manta ray frogs.
And the main thing to watch out here in the Darkroot Garden is the big night things are kind of the most difficult enemies you'll fight here. And they're difficult because they have this sort of AoE spell that makes you heavy, and it slows you down, and that's a problem. So you gotta watch out for that. If you're a sorcerer, it's easy because you don't have to get close to them. If you're a warrior, you gotta watch out.
I remember my first playthrough, I thought those guys were so difficult because I just tried to block like all their attacks.
Everything in this game is so difficult the first time you play.
Yeah. But yeah, you try to block, and blocking is just a surefire recipe to... Why am I pressing
Yeah,
down there?
that's the main thing about this game is you just need to learn to not block. You just have to
Yeah.
learn to dodge, because that's really the only way to get good at this.
Well, I mean, blocking is a good is not a bad technique, but it's not something that you can just sort of rely on. It's especially with the later bosses and things.
Yeah. So these are the big knights. They're kind of sleeping, and then they wake up, and they're kind of mossy green. So I love it because it's like reminiscent of Arthurian legend and all that. But these are actually, I suppose they're what, the Garden Guardians that you see in the DLC?
Yeah, maybe they're later sort of recreations of them, because the Guardians in the DLC are made of stone.
Yeah, and these guys are...
And well, I guess the armor that they're wearing is the stone armor, but
Yeah.
I don't know. These guys are sort of a bit more run down.
It's probably something Seath did. He always fucks everything up. Oh, and see, that's that AoE spell that makes you heavy. And
Yeah,
that
but
ring around him means he's heavy, but he just killed him while he
It's
did that.
okay.
And that's another thing about Dark Souls is it's easy to get overwhelmed and you kind of get defensive and scared. A lot of times being aggressive and active really helps in defeating bosses and monsters.
Ugh.
Why don't you just go back the way you came?
Because this is easier?
Is it really?
Yes.
And the other thing about the Moonlight Garden that's sort of strange is you're never really explicitly told to come here. You just have to kind of come whenever you want and figure it out.
I think you are required to come here because you get
Well, to get Artorias, yeah.
Well, and you get specifically the Moonlight Butterfly. I think you are required to kill the Moonlight Butterfly because she has a key. But yeah, there's nothing in the game that sort of compels you to come this direction at any given, in a certain order.
And you do a lot of back and forth in the game in general. Like, most people come here first and do this and then come back for Artorias later, as we will.
Yeah.
Well, not Artorias, but his grave. Where you fight the wolf, which is actually one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Especially, we're going to do the DLC first because it's fucking heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking. God, just get off me, dude.
It's like, bro, don't leave me. And there's a good set of night gear here that's guarded by several of these.
Yeah, this is sort of a trap.
But if you know about it, it is not a trap.
Yeah, but it certainly trapped me first time round.
Look at you block it with your sword. Is that how those samurai fought? They'd hold it with both hands and block with it?
I don't know, is it?
Did you know that in Japan, the Wolverine is called Wolverine Samurai?
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell? Why are these guys... Whoa, okay. There, now he sees me. Let's see. So stone giants. Yeah, I mean they hurt really bad if they hit you. Whoa, that one almost hit
But
me.
again, movements are very.
They're very slow.
They telegraph.
Yeah, they're very slow, very predictable. I mean, as you saw, you can really dodge most of their attacks without even, you know. Oh, there's the Elite Knight get. You can dodge most of their attacks without even actually dodging or rolling. You can just sort of sidestep them. And I think that is one of the techniques that, as a new player, you don't really think about, but as a more...
and also here, watch out, because there's a little snake on the tree.
Yeah.
And it will bite and poison you if you don't kill
Yeah.
it first. You don't?
And
Did you get the item? Oh, you're fighting this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's only 2 of these snakes in the game also.
And the Darkroot Garden is just so
And there's the Partisan.
different.
Yep.
And that's a spear. I don't think I've ever actually used a spear as a...
I've used a lightning spear.
I don't think... Oh, maybe I did. Well, also, I used... because I'm a loser, did an Ornstein roleplay game. So I made his spear and played as him. And actually, I defeated Artorias as him, which felt cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Although it was really hard because his spear is not so great, and Artorias is different.
His spear is very strange. It scales off of, like, faith.
Yeah, and I do not have any faith, so it was not very good.
Oh,
But
hey, Stone Greatsword. Oh, and
Yep.
then here's another hidden summon.
and actually, this is the witch. Beatrice is if you summon her here, you can then summon her later in New Londo. But if you don't summon here, she's not available later, so it's a good idea to summon her, even though the Moonlight Butterfly is a joke of a boss.
Yeah, but Witch Beatrice makes the Moonlight Butterfly much easier for melee because she can just sort of soul arrow it while you're sitting there doing nothing.
And actually, she makes the Four Kings harder, but
Yeah,
we don't. Anyway, if you want to summon her later, you should summon her here.
yeah.
And if you're melee, it helps to have her magic pelt the Moonlight Butterfly.
Yep. And then this is why I like to go back to the Asylum before doing this, because you get the Crest Shield.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Caduceus shield is better.
But the Crest Shield has 80% magic resist.
Well, what's the Caduceus?
I don't even know if I have the Caduceus.
Deprava.
I don't. I'm pretty sure the Crest Shield has higher magic resist. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is a joke of a boss. But this boss does serve really...
85%, no, 65% magic
Oh,
on the Caduceus.
well, turns out I was right.
No. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, so, but as you can see, I can't touch the butterfly, but Beatrice
Yeah.
can.
And again, the butterfly's attacks, if you see the pattern, are quite easy to see and dodge. She does little laser point, little needle attacks, and then just the homing, big ball of homing magic. And then she inexplicably just hangs out there to let you hit her for whatever reason.
Yep,
And there she goes.
and we get her soul, and then Beatrice disappears. And the butterfly is actually, for more than anything else, the butterfly serves as sort of a foreshadowing, because we don't know it now, but we later see these butterflies again in the Crystal Cave where Seath the Scaleless resides. And it's implied that Seath creates these butterflies. And so a butterfly being here is indicative that Seath has been here and he's left his mark here. And then here we find a blacksmith who's been petrified while holding on to the
key that
basement key
lets us into Havel.
and to the Divine Ember.
So for some reason, Seath maybe had something to do with this guy turning to stone.
Yes, and the embers are items that you can give to blacksmiths. There are 3 blacksmiths in the game, and only certain ones take certain embers.
Yeah. Well, Andre takes a bunch of them.
He takes a bunch of them. and they are used to create weapons that have elemental or other magical properties. Andre makes weapons that are just sort of the normal upgrade path, the divine upgrade path. I don't remember what else. Oh wait, there's 4 blacksmiths. I always forget about Rickard.
Is that the dude in the catacombs?
No, Vamos is in the catacombs. Rickard is the one in New Londo who's like locked himself.
Oh, the magic one, yeah.
Yeah, I always forget about him. And so that's all we needed to do right now in this part of the Darkroot Garden.
Right. But we're going to take a little side track here and do the basin just because we're right here, so we might as well get it.
Yeah, this is when I always do it anyway. Oh, God, I hate running so slow.
And the basin, you'll see, has more traces of Seath's influence.
Yes.
Are you online? Why aren't you getting invaded? I don't like this.
I don't know. I'm online and I'm human.
I don't like
I'm
this
sure
at all.
I'd get invaded if I went actually into the forest. Actually, I don't need to go there.
The other cool thing about the Darkroot Garden and Basin is there's lots of Alice in Wonderland references.
Oh yeah, and then this is the wolf ring. This is one of the rings of the 4 knights of Gwyn. This is Artorias' ring.
The Leo ring was worn by Ornstein.
Yeah, and then
the wolf ring was Artorias.
and then the hawk ring is Goff, and the hornet ring is Kieran. And then
And those were lore-wise, they were sort of the heroes, the great captains of Gwyn's
yes,
court,
and then,
were these 4 knights.
and then there's the bridge I was just on. Again, verticality and recurring paths.
The world just keeps bending in on itself. Like, we were just up to that tower that you saw that was broken.
Whoa! Ah, he died. He didn't. I think didn't get to loot him.
Oh no, you only have 85 moss clumps.
Actually, I don't have any regular blue ones, so I mean purple ones.
You missed the turn.
I know. I'm killing this guy. This guy always comes up behind me.
Oh, please. I say you can just burn that bridge and you come to it.
Yep. And so this is a vista.
You can see that those were the Undeadburg and the battlements we just
Yep. And then
get
there's
over to
the
the right.
church.
Yeah, the altar of the sun was over there.
Yep. And then there's the lake that we're going to.
And again, talking about verticality, we're going to go way down there
Yep.
in just a little bit.
Yep. This is all vertical. And then right here is a crystal lizard that I'm going to try to sneak up on.
And these give you Twinkling Titanite, which are great, because they can level up the Black Knight stuff, which is wonderful.
Yes, and
But
they have
they disappear, so you have to really sprint at them and kill them.
Yeah, and they randomly drop any other kind of Titanite. Like, I got a chunk in that one. The crystal lizards are one of the few ways that you can get Titanite slabs, which are the highest level normal upgrade path in the game. There are 3 guaranteed Titanite slabs in the game now. But if you want any more, you either have to get them from crystal lizards or get them as a super rare drop from dark wraiths in New Londo.
Yeah, and there we got a bunch of bow and arrows. I've never actually played it as like a ranged ranger type class.
I tried.
Is it even possible?
It's possible, but it's slow going. Alright, and then here is a Black Knight with the halberd, which is probably one of the best weapons for PvE.
Yeah, the halberd. Well, I mean, any of the Black Knight weapons are pretty incredible for PvE.
Yeah.
But yeah, the halberd is maybe the top one.
Yeah.
Because the great axe and the great sword are probably too big. But anyway, Black Knight stuff is really good stuff.
The Great Axe you don't really have an opportunity to get unless you go into the catacombs very early on. And the Great Sword is okay. The Ultra Great Sword one is just too heavy.
Yeah, the ultra great sword one is kind of more trouble than it's worth. But
Oh, got the halberd.
hurrah! And that means we win this game super easy from now on.
I don't know. Are we gonna wear it? Are we gonna use the halberd?
Yeah, dude, it's way cooler than this stupid sword.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, if you get the halberd, like he just the game's basically broken from now on
Yeah, and
until
then
end game.
this is the Grass Crest shield. This is one of my favorite shields.
Boo, boo.
It doesn't provide 100% physical block, but it does have a stamina recovery spell on it.
Boo. And right here, if you'll go forward down that cave, you'll see that there's sort of an elevator apparatus that you cannot use. And we will get to that later, because it connects to the Valley of the Drakes and New Londo.
You can use it.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Can't?
Yeah, you
Oh.
just pull the lever.
I didn't even notice that ever. I really should take more time to pay attention to stuff. But yeah, this elevator connects down to the Valley of the Drakes and New Londo, but that's maybe a little difficult to do now, but you can.
Well, I mean, we can't get into New Londo from this side yet, anyway.
Right. But it's actually one of the more beautiful areas of the... To me, I love visually how it looks. And this also used to be Old Ulasil, so I guess New Londo and Ulasil used to have some kind of trade or something going on.
Yeah, we can see here is the front gate of New Londo that is sealed shut. And if we cross the bridge, which I'm not going to, you can see that water is actually trickling out from the bottom of the gate, indicating, at least from this angle, that yes, it is actually flooded, and giving you sort of an early indication of that by showing the water pouring from the bottom of the gate here. And these are drakes that I'm not going to fight because they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they're actually super annoying.
Yeah, and they are the only place you can get renewable dragon scales in the game. But it's also a very low drop.
And they're annoying as hell.
And they're annoying as hell. They have a lot of hit points. Really.
And really wide array of lightning breath attacks that are annoying.
Alright, so I guess I'm going to put on the halberd. Let me see what stats we're going to need for it. Okay. I need, I believe it's 19 strength is what you need.
32 is to one-hand it.
Yeah.
To two-hand it.
And when you two-hand a weapon, you get your strength plus half. So 19 plus 9, yeah, that would be enough.
So just save it for later, I guess. Or
No,
do you
I
have
mean,
enough souls
I've
to
got
level up now?
22,000 souls.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So now I should be able to wield it two-hand it. No, I guess I need 20. Oh no, I need 20. Is 20 enough? I can't. Oh, we're so good at math, aren't we?
I don't even know what the rule is.
When you dual wield a weapon, you get your strength plus half again, as if you were wielding it. So if we need 32 and we have 21, maybe it's 21. Anyway.
Well, 20, that would only be 30.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 31.
So you need maybe 22 to be safe? Wait, 21 is exactly 32. Yeah.
Okay.
Neither of us was a math major in
Nope.
college.
Okay.
Or at any stage of life.
Really? Oof. Nope, that's not it either.
Time out. Let me just look online and see what it says about that.
Oh my god, I can't believe I don't know this.
I always get at least strength 24, but I don't know why.
No.
Online it didn't say. Oh, 22 strength is required.
Great. And so, alright, well, I'm gonna burn the Moonlight Butterfly Soul after we read about it, because we're not gonna make the weapon.
Yeah, you can make a shield that used to be good until they nerfed it.
And you can make a spear that's not very good either. And you actually get a pitiful number of souls from this thing. There we go.
That's 1,200 souls, yo.
Okay. Alright, so now it's not X'd out, so now we can wield it.
Now it's time to just destroy stuff.
Yeah. And I love that attack.